Okay, James, so we're comparing two great United teams here. One from the pre-Fergie era and one from Ferguson's best players as well. Obviously some amazing players in there, as you'd expect. If we just take a quick look at our pre-Fergie 11, we start off with a European European Cup winning, goalkeeper in Alex Stepney.
Yeah, for a long time, Stepney was generally considered the greatest keeper in United's history. Of course, he played a part in the 1968 European Cup winning side, and if you remember, he made a great save from Eusebio, which was crucial, and actually got Eusebio stopping and applauding Stepney for the save. Since, in recent years, certainly since Fergie's time, we've had two goalkeepers who have at least emulated Stepney in the legendary stakes, but possibly, certainly in Schmeichel's case, has actually overshadowed Stepney, I'd say. But Edwin van der Sar, of course, is another one who's right up there. But yeah, Stepney, Schmeichel, van der Sar, they're probably the three greatest keepers United have ever had.
Okay, and just looking around the pre-Fergie team, there's some incredible names in there. One of the more interesting ones is Buchan, in the fact that he didn't play in an absolutely amazing team, but he shone in the team nonetheless.
Yeah, Buchan, he's probably got more than a cult status with United fans. He is seen as a bit of a hero. I suppose similar to sort of Brian Robson, in the sense that he was one of the leading lights at a time when the side wasn't doing too well. Unlike Robson, he didn't get the chance to actually be part of a title-winning side. But he certainly earned his place. Okay,
as we go further up that team, you do have some incredible names, the likes of Edwards, Charlton and Best. Some of the most remarkable names in football history, really.
Yeah, with Duncan Edwards, I think everybody knows about him. Unfortunately, we really have to go off other people's recommendations and what other people say about him, because there isn't that much video footage of him. But if someone like Bobby Charlton says that he's probably the greatest ever player, then you know he must have been pretty good. I know that anyone who did have the pleasure of seeing him only talks about what a wonderful, complete footballer, as comfortable at centre-back as he was at centre-forward or central midfield. Just an awesome footballer who was tragically lost at Munich.
Sure.
And obviously with Bobby Charlton, George Best, who we had the pleasure of seeing much more of them. And again, two players who not only some of the greatest players in United history, but some of the greatest players ever. And George Best, arguably the most iconic figure football's ever known.
Absolutely, and up top, Tommy Taylor and Dennis Law. I believe you spoke to Sir Bobby Charlton about Tommy Taylor recently.
I did, yeah. He's got an incredible scoring record. It was 131 goals and 191 appearances. You know, we might have been talking about the greatest ever striker of all time had he not lost his life. Yeah, I remember I was talking to Sir Bobby about him, and I was saying just how good could he have been, and he said back in those days, basically whenever you got a corner, it wasn't far off being a goal, given the fact that goalkeepers just didn't get the sort of protection that they do nowadays and have in later years. So it was pretty much a free-for-all in the box as soon as a cross came in. I think Tommy Taylor used to take advantage of that.
Great stuff, and obviously Dennis Law, fantastic player.
Just a legend, another legend. I think Sir Alex Ferguson said that he's his favourite player of all time. I know that we did a recent survey and we named him the greatest ever Manchester player, because both City fans and United fans had him in their greatest ever 11s. I think the complete striker. I spoke to him recently actually, and he was saying to me that he never actually wanted to be an out-and-out centre forward. He actually wanted to play out wide more, get more involved in the game. But Sir Matt Busby, he said no, you've got to play as a centre forward, and I don't think too many United fans are sorry about that. He's known as the king of the Stretford End for good reason.
Absolutely. Okay, and we can turn now to the Fergie team. Again, a host of memorable names in that one. Starting with Schmeichel in that, I mean, what a goalkeeper he was.
Yes, I touched on him earlier, but I think that Schmeichel is not only United's greatest goalkeeper. I would say he's the greatest goalkeeper of all time. Anywhere, I think he changed the position. He came in with this new way that apparently owed much to volleyball, where he'd come flying out, he'd spread himself. He was just at times he was unbeatable. He's probably the first goalkeeper I've ever seen that when a striker went through one-on-one with him, you actually thought he was going to come off best here.
Yeah, sure. Just picking out another few names, so many, but centre midfield. Keenan Scholes, I mean, what a blend that is in the centre.
That's arguably the toughest position to pick your two best midfielders, because obviously you've got someone like Brian Robson as well, and when Brian Robson can't get in your best 11, it just tells you how good the other guys are. I think that Keenan Scholes, it was just the absolute perfect balance. You had Keane's steel, you had Scholes' guile. There was a time around the 99 to 2001 period where that pair they were the heartbeat of everything United did.
And up top, Rooney and Ronaldo. I mean, Ronaldo was taken to United from Portugal, relatively unknown, and became arguably the best player in the world, certainly one of the most effective.
Yeah, for a period at United, he was the best player in the world. He was named it as well, and I think he just got better and better at United. It's funny to think that there was a period when he was there when probably fans were getting a little bit sick of him for the fact that he supposedly went down a bit too easily. Perhaps his decision making wasn't best. But in his last 3 years at United, in which he won the title every year, each of those 3 years he got to the Champions League final twice. He was unplayable. He could score both with his head. He was a brilliant header of the ball. He could dribble. He could score from free kicks, score long range. He just had absolutely everything. But again, to pick two strikers is an incredibly difficult job. I think a lot of people would say they'd like Eric Cantona in that too, and I think others would say Ruud van Nistelrooy as well. But Fergie's been blessed with a lot of great strikers.
Surely has, yeah. And just finally, a word for Ryan Giggs, who's played such an important part in Fergie's success. He's been there for such a long time. What a player.
Yeah, you run out of things to say about Ryan Giggs. He's just defied time, defied logic, defied his years. An incredible player. He's the one common denominator with every one of Fergie's title-winning sides. Probably the greatest player in the club's history.